Hi, guys, and welcome back to my podcast where we talk about all things weight loss. On this specific episode, I have Brenda. She's actually someone that I talk to like almost on a daily basis. So I was super pumped to have her here on my channel. We talked like 40 minutes before actually hitting the record button. But anyways, she shares her experience on getting weight loss surgery in TJ in Mexico. After getting denied here in the States with her insurance. She just opens up about why she got surgery, how it's been. She's 7 months post-op, down about 85 pounds, I believe is what she said. But just in general, just talking to her, you see how excited she is. And you see, I remember her sending me the first messages about how scared she was to get surgery and, you know, just asking me, what I was experiencing at that time in my journey. And it's just something I feel like me and her have kind of become more of like a friendship versus just like social media friends, which is amazing. And I feel like that happens so much in this community. But yeah, you guys, if you guys are interested, then please keep on watching.
But, so how I start is just like a little intro, whatever you want to talk about, share to start off.
Okay, well, my name's Brenda. I am 25. I got surgery May 12th, 2020, so this year. So I am almost 12 months post, no, 12 months, 7 months post-op.
Oh my God.
And I am 85 pounds down as of today.
Dude, it's so crazy. I remember I was talking to my husband last night because I was telling him I was going to film with you. And I was like, I remember her sending me a picture, I think before surgery, and you were telling me that you were going to go to TJ to get your surgery and how nervous you were. And then like, look, like, are you at your goal weight or do you still want to lose more weight or how are you feeling? You look super good.
Thank you. So I started at 263 and that number is, sometimes I look at myself and I still feel 263.
Oh,
You
yeah.
more than anyone understand that,
For sure.
And I went from 263 and I'm at 178 right now.
That's awesome.
And my goal is like 170, 160, around that area. I've never been thin. Like I've never been super thin. Like even in high school, like I can't remember the last time I was 150. Like I don't even think I was 150 in high school. And I was pretty active.
License says 150. I've never been.
So my driver's license says 180.
I have it right here. Yeah, it says 150, and I'm like, I still haven't hit 150, but I don't think I want to be 150. I don't know. That's a whole.
Yeah. And then like that's another thing. It's like I've never been, I feel like the one, like people are like 160, like that's where you want to get to. And I'm like, honestly, if I can get to 170, like
yeah,
I'm okay,
How
because
tall are you?
I'm 5'4". But you know what? Talking
I'm
about
5'4"
height,
too.
everybody that like right now that I went to Mexico and I saw my family, people were like, why did you get shorter? Like, why are you so short? And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, you lost weight, but like you also shrunk. And I'm like,
It's
no,
just,
it's just, when you're bigger, you come into the building
yeah.
and like
It's like you're making an appearance, you know. My sister tells me the same thing because she'll like hug me and she'll be like, dude, like you're like you shrunk, and I'm like, no,
yeah,
I'm 5'4", dude. I'm just not.
I'm not 5'4"
I'm
around.
like a hug where you can't put your arms around me hug, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
And that was like I never noticed the comments up until like now, like because one of my aunts told me a while ago when she last saw me before I went to Mexico, and she was like, you look short. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever, maybe it's just what I was wearing, I don't know. And
yeah.
so when I went to Mexico, like I've always been on the heavier side, so my family has always seen me like on the heavier side of like the spectrum. And so this time when I went, people were like, oh my God, like you look so good, like why are you so short? And I'm like, I don't know, I guess it's just I don't stand out anymore, like I don't stand out when I walk into the building.
I know.
So
How do you so you don't really have like a when you went into surgery, did you have a goal, like a number in your mind, like 150?
yeah,
Yeah.
150. And now, but that was because I was so big. I was like, I want to be the smallest that I can be, that I can possibly be. You know what? I'm gonna be 130, like
No, yeah.
stuff like that. Because in my head I was like, I need to lose so much weight, and I just felt so big and so uncomfortable. And now that I'm in the 170s that I haven't seen since I was like maybe in high school, maybe I don't know, middle school,
Yeah.
like I've always been on the bigger side. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm comfortable. My body has slowed down losing weight. I do work out every single day. Like I wake up and I work out because I want to maintain it, but I'm also not like focused on like, why am I not this weight right now? Why am I not losing this much? You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like I finally hit a point where I'm comfortable and I'm like, okay, whatever starts to come off will start to come off when it's going to come off,
Yeah, and
you know?
my doctor told me too, like, because I asked him too, like, what's your goal weight for me? And he kind of like laughed at me, and he's just like, honestly, I don't like, you know, the little chart that says your height and
Oh
your
my God. That
he
traumatized me.
he hates it. He hates it, and he took it out, and he was like. This says that you're supposed to be 115 to 125. And he looks at me and he's like, you're not going to be that. And he's like, and if you
Yeah.
get to that, you would look really sick. Like, I can't even imagine myself at that. Like, right now, so I haven't said this, but like I gained 5 pounds. So I'm 165. And the other day I told my sister-in-law, I was like, I gained 5 pounds. He's like, have you said that on your social media? And I was like, no, shut up. And she's like, talk about it. And I'm like, okay, shut up, you know? But it's so weird though, because I'm 165. When I
Hmm.
was 160, like, I don't know, sometimes I take pictures and like I feel like I look too skinny. I don't know. It's just so weird now. It's so weird. And it's such a mind game because I'm like,
It is. It is. But also, like, you know, like my mom lives here, my brother lives here, and it's like my mom, she's like, don't lose any more weight. Like, you look so skinny. Like, stop losing weight. And it's like, and then when I was bigger, it was like, okay, we need to lose weight. We need to do this. And, you know, and so it's also like the fact that people tell you, but I know she, you know, it's not a bad thing. You know, it makes me feel good to know that she's like, okay, like you're skinny. And I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
No, yeah, I get that comment all the time now. Like, it's like everyone tells me not to lose any more weight. I mean, they're not mean about it, but like
Yeah.
my sister's like, Paulina, like you look really healthy. Like, just like don't drop. But I haven't lost any more weight. Like, I hit 160 at my 11 months post-op, which was July. So from
That's
July to
crazy.
now, I mean, I gained 5 pounds, but probably in the last, so when I went back to work in person, because we're in person at school now, it's been like a month and a
Mm-hmm.
half. I haven't worked out a single day. And I've talked about it, which is crazy because my body's kind of like freaking out because I worked out 5 days a week, like weight trained, and I'm not
Yeah.
because I start work so early. So I leave my house at like 5 and I used to go work out at 5. So
Yeah.
I hate, and it's not, it's excuses, it really is. I hate to work out after work. I don't have any freaking energy to work out after work.
I get off at 5:30. So by the time I get home, it's like one, you know, I'm a mom, so it's like I want to spend time with
Yeah.
Sebastian. And
Mhm.
then it's like you know, groceries, like what do we have to go do? Like sometimes there's appointments, sometimes there's things we have to do. And by the time I'm home, it's like almost 6 o'clock. It's like, okay, I gotta shower. After I shower, like I want to sit down a little bit. I want to eat
Yeah.
something, you know, and it's like by the time that happens, it's 7 o'clock. And then it's like, oh my God, we still have to go to the store. So it's like
Exactly.
there's so many things. So I work out in the morning. I wake up at 5 in the morning. I start work at 8:30, but Sebastian goes to daycare. So I take him like around 7:30, drop him off, and then head to work, which works fine. But still, like sacrificing, like waking up at 5 in the morning when it's cold and my garage is freezing. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
but
you work out at home?
yeah. So once I was 2 months post op, one of my really good girlfriends, she's a nurse as well as a personal trainer. So I reached out to her and I told her, hey, I got surgery done. Um, I'm in the process of like being able to be cleared to start working out. And I think at 2 months, I was able to start lifting like 3 pound weights and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay. So then I want to say 2 months, we saw each other once a month. No, once a week.
Mhm.
And then on that day that we would meet, we would go through workouts. So she was like, so it was finding my coordination, learning what to feel during a workout, like things like that. And then we started going to the gym recently, but I felt like I don't know if I'm ready
I
for
hate
this
the gym.
yet.
I literally
Yeah. So Fernando had found like weights online and stuff, and he bought them, and like I just work out at home. And now with her
did he
help,
find them during COVID? Because remember
yes,
when we all went on lockdown and you couldn't find, I remember going to
anything.
Target, I remember looking on Amazon and you could not find weights or anything that had to do with working out.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was on OfferUp.
There you go. See? That's what I should have
Yeah,
done.
so we found he found the stuff on OfferUp and he was like, I'm gonna do it, like it's really inexpensive. And now I work out like in the comfort of my home and like I don't see my trainer anymore because we just got to the point where she in such a little amount of time she taught me so much that she was like, I think you're ready to like do things on your
I
own.
was
Plus,
just
like I
thinking
have
something like
TikTok and I
edit.
follow people on
Oh,
TikTok.
see, I don't have TikTok, and I know that there's a lot of like just a bunch of stuff. My little brothers, I have like a brother in high school and a brother
Mm-hmm.
in middle school, so they're always like, I think of TikTok with like dances and stuff, right? Because that's what
Mm-mm.
they like show me, but there's so much more to it, huh?
Yeah, like oh, my TikTok is full of like moms and like cooking videos and like
Yeah,
workouts. And like right now it's cool because like there's people that are doing workouts at home and I'm like, "Oh, I could do that here." Like I have that, and it's just like I started off with like a jump rope. So I had a jump rope, I had bands, like the basics, like 5-pound weights, like little things like that. And now we have like a whole setup. I have a treadmill, like things like that. And I'm like, this is awesome. And then it's in the comfort of your own home. You take as long as you want. Sometimes my workouts are like 45 minutes long, sometimes they're an hour. Like
it just
I
depends.
don't, hmm but
Yeah,
I love it.
that's great. That's good. Did you work out before surgery?
A little bit.
A little
I
bit.
had a gym membership. Yeah. So backstory is, I used to work out before I had Sebastian. We used to work out all the time. Like we had a gym membership. I used to go to this gym called Choose and they had like group workouts
Yeah.
and it was like $40 a
My
month and I
dog.
did that.
You see my dog? Hi.
Oh,
What? My little chihuahua. Say hi, Stinky. His name's Stinky.
he's
He's
like,
10.
I need love.
I've had him since he was 2 months old.
My dog is gonna be 6 and I had him since he was 2 months old.
Oh, I have another one
So
too. We got the other one 2 years ago. But anyways, he distracted me because he jumped up on me. Sorry.
you're
But yeah,
good.
workout video. So you did workout groups at that gym?
Yeah, and I liked it. And I actually had lost like 15 pounds. So after I met Fernando, we had been friends like when we were in high school, and then we ended up dating. And once we actually started dating and we, moved in together, it was like downhill from there. It was like we were eating out all the time.
Just
It
like
was
I mean that
like,
happens to so many. That happened to me. I mean, when
mm-hmm.
I got married, it's so crazy because I think about it. When I got married at 18, I was like I would go from like 200 to 210, 200 to
Yeah,
210 for like a
exactly.
whole like 2 years. I would never let myself get over 210 because I would weigh myself, but I could never break the 200. I would never ever
Yes.
get into the wonderland ever. And then I stopped weighing myself and I got to 300 pounds. Like it was great
Yeah.
within, I mean, it happened within a decade from, I'm 29. So it happened from like, and I got surgery last year, so 28. So 10 years, 18 to 28, I gained
Oh my gosh.
100 pounds. And I know that like I've had people on my podcast that have gained 100 pounds in like 2 years, 3 years. So I don't know how
Yeah,
fast it
that's
happens. Like,
insane.
yeah, I don't remember how long I weighed that, but for a long
Hmm.
time, you know?
Yeah, because I remember the last time that I weighed myself before surgery, I was like in the 240s. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, like that, that hurt a little bit. And then right before surgery, so surgery happened so quickly. Honestly, like one of my best friends, she got it done with me, but we got it done a month apart. We were supposed to get.
Cool. Hold on, I can't hear you.
So what ended up happening was I had left my job. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear
Okay, I had left my job and I was like, this is the perfect time to do it. Like we went into quarantine and I was like,
you. Wait, it's
I
like
was doing home health. So I was a nurse and I was going to people's houses. What was that?
it's echoing a little bit.
Hold on. Let me see if I can put this one back in.
Okay. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds better because I've
Oh,
had some where it echoes and like people are like, "Oh my god, I can't even listen to it." I'm like, "Okay, let me fix it."
okay, there we go.
Yeah, that.
So I was working like home health, so I was doing like nursing, but I was going to people's houses. I had one patient, that was it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a perfect time to do it.
Mhm.
So I ended up we were supposed to do it June 26th, and I ended up moving it up a whole like month and a half because I was like, I need to get it done right like tomorrow. I need to wake up tomorrow at the hospital. And I hadn't like mentally fully prepared myself. It was kind of like a day and night situation. We were here sitting at the table, and she was like, let's just schedule it. Like, let's schedule it. Let's get it done. And I was like, okay, like, let's do it. We did the deposit. She was here. Like, we scheduled it. We did everything. And then she ended up moving it up too, because I moved mine up, but she just couldn't. She was moving into a new apartment, so she couldn't do it when I did it. But I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, we'll guide each other. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what we did. So it was pretty cool to get it done with her, because
That's
we just,
awesome.
there was things that I would go through that she didn't go through. And there was things that I would go on, because I was a whole month ahead. And it's crazy that our bodies knew that, like, because like I started to experience hair loss. Like, we still struggling. And right now I have extensions in. So they're like extensions. I cut my hair short. Like, it was like one of the biggest things I think that I've had, like, side effects wise, was losing my hair. I already have really fine hair, and losing it was like I hit like rock bottom. Like, there
No,
was one morning where I was
it's
doing
so
my hair.
hard. Yeah. It's
I was doing my hair, and I wear my hair up at work, and I had like a bun like this big. And I was like, and I called my best friend, and I was crying, and she was like, she was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, dude, I can't believe that, like, you're not experiencing this. But then when she had hit,
the next month.
4 or 5 months, she was like, I'm losing my hair. And like her side started to bald a little bit.
See,
And I
that's
was like,
crazy
that's
you say that because I
insane.
lost my hair at 4 months. It didn't happen because some people it happens a month after, 2 months after, and then other people it like will keep happening. Like for me, I started at 4 months, and then once I hit my fifth month, it slowed down. Like, yeah, I
Hmm.
still lost it, but it's so funny now because I'm not losing hair anymore now, but like the regrowth is real. Like my sister-in-law and my husband are like, dude,
Like these
you're
little
baby
hairs.
hairs. Yeah, like it's like I have to like flatten them when I straighten my hair. I have like oil, like I have to put it all day because I like
Yeah.
oil in it, and then it's like again, it's
Yeah,
bad,
and it
but
was like right here, like you could just see it. Right now it's starting to grow back, so like
yeah,
my baby hairs
they'll
cover
grow
it.
back. Yeah.
But it was insane. And like, she started to experience it, and I was like, I bought pills, like biotin pills, collagen pills. I do take them. And then I bought like shampoos. So I bought this shampoo called Active. I think it's called Active. But anyways, for the shampoo and conditioner, it was like $100 and something. Like, I was desperate.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to my hair, because even before surgery, I used to get extensions, like really, really long extensions, 22-inch extensions.
Yeah.
And after the surgery, I still had them,
Okay.
but they started to like slide off of my head. Like, I could just like
It wasn't
go
like
like this.
ripping it.
No, it wasn't ripping it. It was like they were just becoming so loose that I could just like boop. And they were like, I would wake up and one would be like hanging on for dear life. And I was like, what the heck? So then I had to take them out. I was like, it's fine. I'll give my hair a rest. But it was like the hair loss was insane. Like, I had
Yeah.
so much hair loss where I was like, at one point, I was like, what if I just shave my head and wear wigs? Like, I'm just gonna shave my head and throw on a wig, and nobody's gonna know. And like, I'll just let my hair
Yeah.
grow out, and it's gonna be fine. Like, I'll find somebody to install my wig. But my best friend was like, no, calm down. Like, don't do that. Like, why don't you talk to your hairdresser and ask her? And so my hairdresser, before I went to Mexico, she was like, why don't you come in and we'll do like a trial? So we put some in, and they're still hanging on. So we're
Yeah.
getting
So
somewhere.
it's fine. Like I know a lot of people. I get messages that are like they won't. They're like, I don't want to get surgery because of hair loss, and I'm like, well, you're gonna
Hmm.
lose hair. Like it's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
and
It is what it
and
is.
that's another thing that, like, even if I was like bald, if I had bald patches, I would still get the surgery, hands
Yeah.
down, because it's like when you did that one podcast, I forgot her name, but she said, like, envision your life after it. Like, I can never go back to what I was. And I feel like that's another thing that I struggled with, was one, body dysmorphia, and like getting in my own head of like, if you eat that, you're gonna gain weight, and if you eat that, you're gonna gain weight, and it's like, I I want to say I deprived myself from a lot of things, because I had that in the back of my head constantly, like that fear of like, and then now I'm able to like, okay, I want a little bit of that. I'm going to go ahead and have it.
Oh yeah.
It's because I'm going to sit here and I'm not going to eat a whole pizza. It's like I'm going to have half of it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Half of one slice is not going to be bad. But then
Exactly.
if I deprive myself, I feel like I start to get depressed. And that was like another thing. Like, I think a lot of people have this misconception of you get surgery, like you're just supposed to sit there and lose the weight. And it's like, no, it's because at the end of the day, they cut your stomach out. I did get the gastric, the vertical gastric sleeve, and they cut your stomach out, but they don't cut your mentality out. Like it's still there. You have to mentally prepare yourself because everybody around you. I think you were the one that said this, like, and that's one thing that always stuck to me is you stop eating, but everybody around you doesn't. And Fernando has an appetite of a grizzly bear, and so does Sebastian. So, like the first 2, 3 weeks when you're still like on the liquids and still like introducing like the basics, I felt like I was depressed because I was like, at one
Because
point I regretted it.
we dealt with our emotions with food. I know I did.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
we
sure
said
did.
it before, like every single event, not even a positive event, but like every event, it's around food. A funeral,
Mm-hmm.
every holiday, birthday, celebrate, like every celebration or not celebration, like I said, is around food. Like the
Oh
other
yeah.
day, my dad is like almost 6 foot. He's 5'11". My dad's like 100 and maybe he's like 200 pounds, like 190
Yeah.
something. He's always been thin, whatever. And the other day, I forget where we were at, and we were like walking around at the mall or something. And oh no, it was in TJ when we went for my sister's.
Oh.
And he says, what did he say? He's like, what do we do? What do we do? And I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I'm like, let's go walk around the mall. And he's like, no, like, let's go eat something. I'm like, we literally just ate dinner. And he like, with him, it's everything is around food. And he's like, if we don't eat, like, there's really nothing to do. And I was like, Dad, that's why I was so freaking big, because like, not blaming it on him, but like my dad eats like he's 300 pounds and he's not. Like he eats so much. Like if we go to Mexican food, it's like
game over.
a burrito. Like, yeah. Speaking about that, in San Diego, have you ever been to Lolitas?
Oh girl, yes.
See, that's what got me to 300 pounds, because
Yes.
literally, I grew up on that. Like,
yeah,
I would go to my dad's house on the weekends. We would get Lolitas literally every single weekend. And then, like,
I was introduced to Lolitas when I started nursing school. So I have a couple friends in nursing school, from nursing school, and we were right down the street from a Lolitas. And I remember one day they were like, oh, let's go to Lolitas to eat. And I was like, what is that? And they were like, oh, it's a Mexican, like, it's a taco shop. And I was like, okay, cool, let's go. And we never went back. I think my real weight gain started nursing school. One, stress eating. It was like we had an hour of lunch. So then we would either go to like this place called Tajima, which was like a ramen place.
Yeah.
Or we would go to Lolitas. And Lolitas was just like our go-to. We'd order it before we got there. We'd get there, we'd pig out, and then we'd go back to school and sit for another 4 or 5 hours.
It's so good. And it's like it's so horrible, because also there's one in downtown right in front of Petco Stadium. And baseball season.
Oh, and you're a softball
baseball
girl.
season, like, we're about it, right? And you can take food into that stadium. So there's stadiums that you can't take food into. Petco, they let you. So what we always do is we go to Lolitas, get food, take it in, right? And then everyone's like, where'd you get that food from, right? Because like food is so expensive inside the ballpark. So but a lot of people don't know you can bring food in. But yeah, that right there is what got me big as hell. So with him, my dad, like if we go there, he'll eat like a burrito, roll tacos, like, and I'm just like, Dad, like what?
Calm down.
Yeah, and he doesn't gain weight. And I would do the same thing and I gain weight. So
yeah, and I feel like that's where my real weight, that's when I started to notice that I would eat my emotions.
Yeah, for school it's stressful.
Yeah. And then it was like on top of that, and but we were, once I got out of nursing school is when I started to like eat healthier. I started at my first like nursing job.
Yeah.
And I would see the nurses eat there, and I was like, wow, she's eating a salad, and I'm sitting here eating a burrito, and I was like, okay.
Like, oh, crap.
So I kind of changed my eating habits. It's kind of when I started to learn to like meal prep and stuff like that.
A schedule, right? Like when you got your job, you knew your hours, and now let's figure it out. But when you're in school, you're like everywhere.
Yes. And then after nursing school is when we started to go to the gym. And that was fun. Like we would go every single day after we got off of work. Like we'd come home, and that's when Fernando and I had like our own apartment. So it was like we would cook up something so quick, whether it was like veggies and chicken. We were never fancy about our meals. Like it was something super quick. And
Yeah.
for the most part, I want to say we ate pretty healthy, and I did lose 20 pounds.
Okay.
So I went from 230
Yeah.
to 210, and I stayed at 210 for up until I found out I was pregnant. So I have never been regular on my periods, TMI, never. And now, girl, now she's a thing, and I'm still trying to get used to her.
You get it every month now?
Every month, the same exact day.
So before surgery, I know it's TMI, but like people want to know, like before surgery, did you not get it at all, or would you get scattered?
Nope. I would like get it every maybe 2 years, but I've always been, like I said, I've always been on the heavier side. So my mom has always, when I first got my period, and I was like, well, why am I not getting it every month? She took me to the doctors, and they told me, oh, it's because you got to lose weight. You got to lose weight. It was always the same thing. And so I was like, okay. So in my head, I was always like, oh, I'm not getting my period because obviously I'm heavier now. I'm in the 200s and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So that led me to finding out that I was pregnant up until 6 months, and that I was pregnant.
You were 6 months pregnant when you found out? Because you didn't get your period. So you were kind of like, whatever. Oh,
it was normal to me.
That's crazy. So you only had like 3 months to like prepare.
Basically, it was like I found out, went on maternity leave, had a baby shower, and then like boom, he was here.
I think that's better because like you didn't stress on it. You weren't like stressed. It was like
there was things that like I noticed that
dog,
like
man, like
I know my dogs are here.
What do you need? You want to go? Hold on, let me text my sister-in-law to open my door. He's so annoying.
Brenda, come here. I'll show you my fat boy. Come here, fat boy. Come here.
My
he's bigger.
Me. Hi.
He's little chunky.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a TJ dog.
How? Did you say? Wait, what did you say?
He's a TJ dog. My mother.
Did you say that, or am I tripping?
My mother-in-law gave him to us when he was like a couple months. He's so chunky, but he's heavy.
But anyway, what were we talking about?
Periods.
Oh yeah.
So I was always irregular, and I never kept up with it. And then I would get it like randomly, like spotting, like randomly. And then it was like, I thought that I couldn't get pregnant. I thought I was infertile because I was like, I'm not getting period. I can't ovulate. Like, what's going on?
You don't. Like, I actually went to go talk to an OB, and she told me that because I didn't get my period for legit 5 years before my surgery, like 4 or 5 years. I would get it maybe like once, and it was kind of like, what is this? Like, I don't know.
It was like spotting, like weird.
And now, like literally 3 months, 2 to 3 months after surgery, I've gotten it every single month on the dot. And I was like, I've never even, like, I got my period around 11 years old. I think I was like 11. And I was always heavier, right? And I always played soccer. So my doctor would tell me, because you're an athlete, it's normal not to get your period every month. No, it's not. That's what he told me. And I think I told my mom the other day, I think he was just telling me that, like, to be nice, right? Because there's doctors I feel that are so blunt, like, you need to lose weight. And then there's other doctors that kind of go around it, right?
Yeah.
They're kind of like, they don't want to make you feel bad. But then I'm like, you're not doing your job either, So I had
my doctors have always been blunt. They're like, you're overweight.
Yeah,
you're overweight. And I'm like, oh.
Because when my doctor told me that it was because I played soccer, I'm like, that was not true. And then how is it now that at 29 years old, now I get it every single month, like it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
So.
And so that led up to like, I was like, I'm not getting a period. And we before, like after we got married, we were like, we just want one baby for now. But I didn't get a period. So it's like we, TMI, we're not using anything. And it was like a year had passed by, a year and a half. And I was like, nothing, absolutely nothing, So then it messes with your head. And I was like, I need to lose weight. So then we started going to the gym. But then I was losing weight. And then we had gone to, the week before I found out, we were in Cabo. We were in Cabo drinking cheap tequila, eating all the seafood in the entire world, like living our best life. And then I came home and I started to feel a little weird. And I was like, my boobs hurt. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel weird. And there was things that happened here and there where I'm like, you should have gotten the clue. Like sometimes we would eat in and out really, really late, and I would wake up and, have morning sickness. But I was like, I also did eat a full
Yeah. Like,
burger,
yeah.
animal style fries, and a milkshake
Oh my
at
God.
11 p.m.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be so real. This week, I actually had animal style fries.
Oh, good for you.
Oh no, because they didn't make me sick at all. And I was gonna ask you too, like they didn't make me sick at all, like at all. And I've experienced dumping syndrome, so I always say I haven't experienced it, and I actually did experience it the other
Mm.
day. Oh my God, what was it? What got me sick? Oh my God, I can't remember. I don't remember.
Okay,
Something got
little
me
guy.
sick. But oh, your son? Oh, have you experienced dumping syndrome or no?
No, 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 not dumping syndrome, but I've had food that hasn't settled
That
well.
just doesn't sit well.
Yeah, there's some that like I think it's rice. Like when I eat rice, obviously rice like like expands in your
Yeah.
stomach, blah, blah. But it's like there's like they told me I could have like a little bit, but every time I've had rice, I feel like it just sits on my chest and it hurts. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel good. So it's like but not dumping syndrome. I've also had food that I've ate, and this happens occasionally where it's like I hear bubbles in my stomach, and I'm like, I don't know if that's
That's
not
me.
sitting well
That's
or
Yeah, no, my stomach makes so much noise, and like sometimes I'll be next to like someone in my family, and I'll be like, "No, I didn't fart. That's literally
yeah,
my stomach," because it sounds like it, and it's like, and I'm
yeah, or it goes. "Poo." I don't know. It makes weird noises, but it's my
loud,
stomach. Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
Same. I wanted to ask you, regarding, I know you went to TJ to get surgery, so I know
Oh
you
yeah,
said it was really, really fast. It was like bam, bam, bam.
yeah.
So, how did you find your doctor? Like, what was it on Instagram or like social media, or how?
No, so I was working at a psych unit, and there was one girl. I tried to get it through Kaiser, but I wasn't approved through
Yes,
Kaiser
I remember that. Was it because
because
of your weight or what?
yeah, so at the time when I was trying to get approved, I was still like in the like 230s, 240s type of thing. And they were like, no, like let's wait because that's weight you can still lose, like if you really get to it. And they gave me like a diet, I saw a nutritionist, all of the above. And I was like, no, like I know it's selfish, but I need something quick. I need something quick.
Did
I'm
they
so
tell
unhappy.
you?
I want to do something fast.
Yeah, was it you? Did you tell me that they like told you you had to like be a little bit heavier to get approved?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
they were
'cause
like,
I
if
remember you
you
telling me that.
yeah, if you at the time, this was when they were still doing like the 6 month classes. Now I think it's like 3 months.
Yeah, I did that
Yes.
here, and I was the last class. Well, because I did it in San Diego. So
Yeah.
I was the last class that did 6 months, and they were like,
Hmm.
"You guys are the last one," and then next it's gonna be three. And I'm like, "Are you kidding?" But honestly, I'm fine with it. Like I learned a lot in my classes. It was just they were so strict on attendance and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
work in Escondido, so I had to
Oh my gosh.
work. I know I commute a lot, so I'm so used to it though. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But anyways, I work in Escondido, so then that's why I did it in San Diego, because it was either San Diego and Riverside, and I don't really like know Riverside. I know San
Hmm.
Diego like really well, so
Yeah.
I was like, let me go down there. So I would go to my classes, and it was once a week for 2 hours, um, for 6 months, and they were really strict because I think it was like you missed three and you were dropped, and you had to
Oh
like
my gosh.
restart. Yeah, like you had to restart it. And a lot of people dropped because they would miss. So,
Yeah.
but they say change.
So I had a coworker who she got it done with Kaiser too, and I was like, dude, you look amazing. Like she looks so good. But then like now that I see her, like there was times where she would come in and her breakfast, because by the time I had left that job and I had already scheduled my surgery, she was, I want to say, a year and a half post-op, and she had lost like 100 and something pounds too. She looked great.
Yeah,
But her breakfast would be like hot Cheetos and coffee. And I would be like, girlfriend, that's not, no. So, and then I had another coworker who she had told me that she was gonna get it done, and she was like, but I'm gonna go to TJ, and I was like, oh, tell me more,
tell
like
me more.
tell
Yeah.
me more. And so she started telling me, and she's a mom of two,
Okay.
and she's super precautious about everything, and so she was like, I'm gonna go to this doctor. So then she sent me the doctor that she was gonna go to, which is BC Hospital in Tijuana, and I did my research. I talked to his doc his name is Dr. Ilian.
Okay.
And I talked to him like a couple times. I talked to the nutritionist, and then I kind of started to feel a little bit more comfortable. And I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna do it. I had talked to them. They had sent me a test to like do of like my BMI, my weight, like background information, and I had gotten approved. But then I kind of let it go. So then I had to redo the test, and I got approved again. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. Like, there's no going back. I'm gonna
So
do it. The
did
only thing is like
did
they
your
don't have
insurance cover it over there or no?
no,
See, that's what I was
unfortunately.
wondering, like, cause I don't, I've said it a couple times, but I actually have a plastic, like for plastics and consult on January 4th. And my dad was like, "Why?" I
Ooh,
know, I'm so excited. I mean, who knows if I'll do it or not, but it's just a consult. But my dad
it
was,
doesn't hurt to go.
I know, I'm excited. But the doctor that I'm going to, he does, like he doesn't just do, I forget what it's called, where they just remove your skin. He doesn't do that because it doesn't, he says that it looks really ugly. Like they don't really focus on how it looks. So he does do like the tummy tuck and sculpting and all that. But my thing is I don't have kids, but he says he does this surgery on people that don't have kids because of the weight loss. Like he's like it's completely different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, and you can still have kids after. He said just
Hmm.
wait a year. He's like, and it might not look as good, but then you can just get a retouch. He's like, it's not that serious, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, my dad was like, why don't you look in TJ? But again, I'm like, I don't know. And then also, because I'm an hour away. So I just think of, if I was like right by the border, if I was in San Diego,
Hmm.
I think I would be more to open to it. But like, I think about like, what if I get an infection or something like that? And I just need to go straight to the doctor. And it's here,
Yeah.
local, it's in Murrieta. So it's like, you know what I mean? So that's,
Yeah. And that was another thing. So my coworker, and she had her appointment, I think in June too. And she ended up canceling it while we were in the middle of the whole pandemic and stuff. But for me, I was like, I'm doing it because one, they're closing down the restaurants. Like, you know,
like,
it
let's
doesn't.
do it now. I can't.
Yeah. And so for me, I feel like it was a huge advantage to be able to like get it done during the pandemic, because I was like, one, we're not really eating out right now. It was like, I was like, this is the best time to do it right now. I'm working home health. So I was like, I had one patient, like I could take it really slow. Like it was fine. And it worked out perfectly, because I want to say like a month after is when I got like a full-time job. And I was like, this worked out perfect. Like this
Yeah.
is fine. But the one thing, the downfall in TJ is like, you go, you get it done, and that's it. Like,
That's what I was
there's,
gonna ask. So they don't make it
yeah,
pre-op classes. They don't.
no,
I know, and I've had multiple people on my podcast, and they tell me that same thing. They say they don't make
yeah, no.
classes. They just schedule you and you go. So how do you feel about that? I mean, you're on social media and stuff. I'm sure you do your research, and you work in the medical field.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do
And I just did my research, and I kind of just put my emotions first. And I was like, I was so unhappy. I was so unhappy. I was miserable. I started to notice it affected like me being a mom. Like there was times on my day off when Sebastian would want to go outside and play, and I'd be like, why? Why do you want to go outside? Like, why can't we just sit on the couch and watch a movie? And then I was like, he's one. Like he wants to play with the ball. And it's like, even when I would go outside with him, I would just sit there on my phone, like things like that, where I was like, I couldn't do it anymore. I was so unhappy. And then I would look at myself, and they'd be like, let's go out, let's go do something. And I'd be like, why? Why do you want to go out? Because nothing fits me. I was always in leggings and a t-shirt and a sweater, because I was like, nothing fits me. I
Same.
don't feel comfortable. So then I was like, you know what? I'll do my research. That's when I had ran into your videos. And my best friend sent me one day, and she's like, have you seen this girl? And it was you. And I was like, yes, I
Who's your best
have.
friend?
Her name is Sincerely Ruby,
I have
I
her.
think, on Instagram. She follows you, I believe. And this is my bean right here.
Hi, buddy.
Say
What are
hi.
you doing? Sincerely Ruby 95.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow her. I don't follow her. She's gonna be like, what?
So she actually, yeah. So she actually,
I can't hear you. Oh, there. I'm like, I can't hear you again. Can you hear me?
okay, there we go.
Yeah, I can
We're
hear
back. And she also got the surgery, and she had sent me her videos, and I was like, dude, I already binge watched all her videos. Like, I would be folding clothes and I would be watching your video, and then I kind of just took things from there and did my own research. Yeah, cool. And then I did my own research, and I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. How hard can it be? You know? And then once I got the surgery, I was like, oh, this is hard. Like,
It's hard. It really is. I know. I used to see people post about that, and I was like, you know, can you hear me?
Hold on.
Okay.
there we go. Ugh,
Can you hear me?
my AirPods are old. Yeah.
It's okay. No, I was saying like, no, it is hard. And I used to see people would say that, and I was like, really, how hard can it be? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so I honestly was not mentally prepared for what was to come. But I feel like I kind of learned as I went. I obviously reached out to you a lot. You know, I was like,
Yeah, but I
I
love
need
that.
help. I need advice. And I was like, I'll figure it out. Like, I'll figure it out. I just wanted the change. And that was what I was focused on, you know? I just wanted to feel different. And hands down, I could lose all my hair. And there's a solution to that, you know? I could buy a wig. Like, that's not my problem. I was just in such a horrible place. So I have a group of friends, and we've all been like on the heavier set side of like the
Yeah.
spectrum since high school. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we've all gained weight. We've all been in relationships. So that's how we started to gain weight.
Yeah.
And then we would all hang out, and it was like, what are we going to eat? Like, you know, what are you going to take? What are you going to take?
Yeah.
And so our husbands, being the beautiful people that they are, they named us the Cheetah Puff Girls, because all we would eat was Cheeto Puffs.
Oh my
Cheeto
God.
Puffs dipped in like some sort of ranch,
Bomb.
cheese, something. And so I was like, I don't want to be a Cheeto Puff girl no more. Like, because, you know, we have like the Cheetah Girls, and we were the Cheetah Puff Girls. So, because all we ate was Cheeto Puffs. And, you know, and we just made the decision. And now I'm like, I'm in such a good place that I would never go back. Like,
And
you know,
yeah, no, I get what you mean. And do you feel like it's gone by really fast? Like 7 months, you feel like
oh,
it's gone
yeah.
by fast? Because I
Yes.
feel like everything just flies.
Yeah, and there was a point where I was like, I can't wait to be 4 months post-op. I can't wait to be this many post-op, you know, because I was like, I want to see the progress. And even though the surgery was like the weight was coming off, it was like I need to wake up tomorrow and be like in the 100s, you know.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
know.
like, it's even hard to believe that I had gained so much weight at that point, because like I look back, I took pictures of like when I would step on the scale, and I look back and I'm like, they're like, I weighed that, like there's no way. But then sometimes, you know, I tell Fernando that I look in the mirror and I'm like, I feel like I'm still 263
You
pounds.
still
Like, it's
see that.
crazy how like mentally you have to prepare yourself, you know. Like I said, I had somebody say like, well, the surgery is the easy way out, and I'm like, no, it's not, because they're cutting your stomach, but it's like those cravings aren't like, I still crave cookies, I still crave pizza, I still crave a hamburger, knowing I probably won't be able to eat that. I can, like, and I will if I want to, I will. But it's like, I guess I can say I don't enjoy food as much as I used to, you know, because it's like I've been wanting animal style fries is a perfect example, but then I'm like, I
Don't
can
do
only
it. I
have
regretted it after, dude. I was like, why did I do that? They were so good. I'm not even gonna lie. They were so good. And I wanted it. I wanted it to get me sick. Like I
yeah.
literally
So
wanted to.
there's things that I've had that I'm like, I hope this makes me sick, so then I can be like, I'm not gonna have
And
it
it
again. But
doesn't.
like nothing, you know. And it's just like situations like that where I'm like, you know what? But then I prepare myself to be like, it's okay to have that. You're not having it every single day, and
Yeah.
it's not going to do anything, you know. Like, you work out, and you know, even though they say it's 80-20, 80% is what you eat, 20% is what you do at the gym, and I believe it. I work out because I enjoy it. It makes me feel good, it makes me feel better, it makes me start my day, like, you
Yes.
know. And then my watch isn't like, by this time you know.
They're like, usually you're at this time. I know.
So it just like, it helps me meet my goals. But I do, like, if I want pizza, you know, I have a slice, but obviously I modify everything. So sometimes, like, my biggest thing is I watch your cooking videos, and I did the tortilla with like the
That's
pizza. I
my
made my own pizza with the
favorite.
tortilla.
It's so
And I made one for Fernando, and he was like, this is so much better than
good.
actual pizza,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, I feel like people have this misconception of like, I have to eat a salad every single day. And it's just eating what you want and modifying it. So it's like my biggest thing that I do, I'm a huge pizza person. Anybody that knows
Me
me knows that
too.
I can eat.
Me too. Have you been to La Bella's? Have you
Okay,
tried?
we're back. Yeah.
Have you been
And then
to
this one doesn't really work.
nuh-uh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but Sebastian dropped it in the toilet and like we're fine.
Have you been to La Bella's in San Diego?
No, I haven't.
Okay, well, don't go ever. It's in what street is it? It's by Plaza. No, not Plaza Bonita. It's by the Chula Vista Mall. I forget what street it is, but it's called La Bella's. It is literally La Bella's and Lolitas are my two things. There was like pizza and Mexican food, but yeah, pizza's my jam too. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. No, but yeah,
So
La Bella's is really good.
yeah, so there's things like I said, pizza. Pizza is my favorite thing ever. So it's like pizza boats on zucchinis,
Yes, good.
delicious, delicious. I've never been a huge pasta person, but like, the bonza pastas, things like that. Like, it's like, I want it, I'm gonna have it, but I'm gonna do it this way, and it's just like learning. Like, if I knew now what I knew then, I probably could have lost weight without the
Dude,
surgery,
I
but it
see
was
that
like,
all the time.
I just needed that push.
Exactly. There's alternatives to everything. Literally. Have you had I know you said
Yeah.
you were talking about hot Cheeto Puffs. Have you tried the popcorn that I post? The flaming hot popcorn, the smart food?
Yes, the smart food, yes.
It's so dangerous.
And I
It's
couldn't
so
find it
dangerous.
anywhere here. I didn't have it like in the Target. So when we actually went camping like in Palm Springs,
Yeah.
and that's where I found it. And I was like, I took like 10 bags, and then I gave one to my best friend because she couldn't find it either. And I was like, here, just take them.
Yeah.
It's so good. But it kicks that craving, because sometimes it's not necessarily of like for example, I still haven't really drank anything gassy. I've never really been a soda person. We don't really have sodas at our house, but like even before, like there was things that I did cut out even before surgery, but like I would drink like LaCroix, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Like things like that where it's like I was just craving like the gas. I didn't need the extra calories. I just needed the gas,
Like
and things like that where it's like,
You
yeah, like
carbonation.
and that's goes back to the whole thing of like it's just learning the alternatives. Like Costco, we go to Costco all the time, and Costco has this margarita cauliflower veggie pizza, and I'm like, yeah, like that's fine. And so if they order pizza, like I'll just pop my little pizza in the oven, and
there's
it's
an
fine.
alternative. Yeah, have you had the cauliflower pizza at California Pizza Kitchen?
Yes,
It's so
those are good.
And they also have it
it's good because anyone.
No, go ahead. It keeps like cutting off. Can you hear me? What were you saying?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
So that and California Pizza Kitchen is like my go-to because you can order any other pizzas and cauliflower pizza. So it's like, they don't just have like, you can only order the veggie one. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, you can get whatever you want on it. Yeah. So that's a dangerous spot for me.
I mean, you can ask my sister-in-law because she's like, can we try something else? I always like the barbecue one. That's my favorite one. Barbecue chicken.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
It's so good. But there are some stores I saw. Was it? No, not Albertsons. No, I think it is Albertsons. They have the one you can bake at home, the cauliflower, but California Pizza Kitchen brand. But it's just the cheese. Yeah. So I buy that one, and then like I'll cut up my own veggies and throw them on before putting them in the oven because. Yeah, cool, a cheese one. It's so weird now. Like, I told my husband, I feel like such an adult. Because before, I used to hate, like, bell peppers and all the healthy stuff. And now I'm like, put it on.
Yeah, and, like, like I said, and you've said, it's like, if I knew now what I knew then I probably didn't need the surgery. But I needed that extra push of, like, okay, you did it. Now you have to do the effort. Now you have to put in the work. It's not just the surgery. And like right now we went to Mexico and we went on a vacation and we stayed at a hotel, which was beneficial that they had a buffet. But honestly, I think I got a salad once. I think I got a salad once, and I kind of just like enjoy.
I can't hear you.
Cut off again. Let me see if I can do it without the headphones.
Just try like that.
Let me see. Alrighty, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's funny because like your mouth is still moving and you're so into it, and I'm like, I can't hear you. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me know if you can. But I
No,
think
yeah,
you can.
it's good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was they had everything. They had breakfast, they had dinner, and they had like other restaurants. And we kind of just ate at the same buffet every night.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like I allowed myself to like binge a little bit. I had salad. Obviously, I still can't eat. Like I had like, if it was like a chilaquil, I had like 2 little tortillas.
Yeah.
You know, it was like modified. It was like I wasn't serving myself like huge amounts of food. It was like
Compared
I
to
was
before,
allowing myself, exactly. I was allowing
food.
myself to like try everything.
Yeah.
But it was like, and that was another challenge that I still hadn't faced, was going to a buffet. Like that urge of like wanting to eat everything was still there. And it's like, I'm 7 months post-op, you know, at this point, like I've got it pretty down to where it's like, I go and I'm like, okay, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, or I don't want to eat this. You know, it's going to make me feel bad. Like I got it pretty together. But it was the first time I'd gone to a buffet and I was like, I felt that like, I need a big plate. Like I want to serve myself a big plate. I want to eat everything there possibly is.
Yep.
And it was like, there was one day where I think it was like our first day there, where it's like, I did eat a little bit more than like what my body wanted. And I felt sick. And I was like, that was like the first time where it's like, I had felt that like, oh no, you know, that was no bueno. But it was like, wow, like that urge was still there of like going out to eat. Like, and there's food everywhere, and you're just like, I want to binge
But like
everything.
you said though, that's like that's the mental part of it, because you
Yeah.
think, like when I think about how I used to eat, it's honestly embarrassing. Like when we went to Puerto Vallarta and like a buffet, right? You go and dude, I could eat. Like I told my husband the other day, I was like, I didn't have like, my stomach wouldn't like tap out. Like I would not get full. Like I could eat so much. I would think of like, what are we having for appetizer? What are we having for the meal? What are we gonna get for dessert? Okay, cool. We ate now, and then like 30 minutes later, I want hot Cheetos. Like it was ridiculous how much I could eat. You know,
I could probably eat as much as Fernando. Like, and he's a construction worker, so it was like I felt like I was eating the same amount of him. My mom would be like, "You eat the same amount as Fernando." Like, if he was gonna eat 2 quesadillas, I would eat 2 quesadillas. You like, you know, things like that. And it's like, it was just so crazy because now I see him eat, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna eat all of that? And I'm like, I used to eat all of that. You know, it's still surprising because I still don't eat a lot. I still weigh my food. I still, you know, because it's like I still do want to lose more weight. Obviously, it's coming off slower, but it's insane. It's honestly such a mind thing. And my biggest thing, my hands down biggest thing I'm not a chip person. I'm not like,
oh my gosh, I am
I'm a sweet person. Like I want cookies, I want ice cream, I want brownies. Like that was like the biggest thing. And every time I would eat, whether I was like stuffed like a potato, I was like, I need something sweet.
You could still eat the sweet thing.
Like there's this, I don't know if you've ever heard of or gone to it. There's a place here in San Diego. It's called Mana Barbecue, and it's a Korean place where you cook your own meat.
I've never been
Girl,
there.
we would go and we would eat. So it's like endless meat. Like you could get shrimp, you could get chicken, endless. Like they just bring it.
Yeah.
And you ask for it and they bring it. And across the street was an ice cream place. So we would eat. We would be there for like an hour and a half, just going nonstop. And then we would still go to the ice cream across the street and get like the rolled ice cream. And I was
oh my god, the rolled ice cream is so good.
It's just the texture of it is addicting.
I've had it twice at the mall here. They have it, and I love mint ice cream. Like mint chocolate chip is like one of my favorites. And they had it, and it took forever to make. I was like, oh my god, but it's so good. The texture, like you said,
yeah,
so good.
Yeah. It's oh, what happened? Oh, did you cut off? There.
No, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just it's so I was like a sweet person. So even though I was so full, I would be like, I need something sweet. I need something sweet. And my best friend's the opposite. She's like, I need chips. I want chips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I could go with that. Was like one thing like I didn't really care to lose. I was like, oh, I could go without chips. Bruno.
Yeah.
And now like the Quest chips, oh, My God. Like when I do
See,
want
I'm
chips,
not
I'm
big
like,
on the Quest chips. I don't know. I don't like them that well, like
really?
that much. Which one? What flavor do you like the best?
Uh, I want to say the taco.
Oh
The
no,
taco?
that one's all right, but I forget which one. It gave me like a weird aftertaste. I
No,
forget
it's the green bag. I don't like the taco ones. It's the
the
green
chili
bag. I
one. It
forget.
was like chili something.
Yes,
The green. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like those. Those are my favorite, hands down. Ranch and cheddar, I'm not
Hey,
a huge
so
fan
you
of.
like sweets? Have you tried the protein donuts? I haven't posted about them
Yes,
in a long time, but
yes,
they have them in San Diego everywhere.
yeah. We it's like a nutrition place we went to.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my best friend, she had found him and she was like, "Oh my gosh, let's go." And so we went one day and we just went in,
Aren't they
girlfriend.
amazing? Like they're so good. Do you remember what
I
flavor
put
you
my
got?
I got no. What did I get? I got Oreos for sure, hands down.
Yeah.
Anything that I ever get, Oreos is my go-to. Go off.
Yes. So
Um, I think I got basic chocolate and then I got s'mores and like a recess one.
they have so many. I'm done. Like I didn't go try it. They had a pumpkin one. I love pumpkin stuff, but I
Oh
never
yeah.
got it. I don't know if they still have it. But they are amazing. And I think it's a did you go to the same company I posted? It's like sweet.
Sweet Beast desserts or
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Because they have them at all the
And
Nutri shops.
yeah, but like that's another thing. I'm like, oh, I wish I could have like a big cup of milk with this, but it's like we have to wait 30 minutes.
That's
So it's
hard.
like
Was that hard
that's
for you?
still there. Yeah, definitely. And still now it still is. Sometimes like I forget that I just ate and I'll drink water and then the water
Oh
I
yeah,
literally feel it right
that
here. And
happens.
I'm
That
like,
happens to me
oh
all
my
the time.
God. But from the start and at one point because I did get in my own head, I never had no restriction with water. Like I could always chug like a whole water bottle.
Really?
Yeah, and so at one point, I was telling Fernando, I was like, "Oh my God, I went to TJ. What if they didn't even like cut my stomach out? What if it's just me, man?"
Dude, I was saying that the other day because my doctor, I didn't see my doctor before I was like put to sleep. I didn't see him, and I didn't see him when I woke up either.
Oh,
So like, where
oh,
were you, dude? I was telling my husband, I was like, maybe it was like, how they have like the what are they called? I don't know the proper word. And my brother just graduated from med school, and what is it
oh,
called?
that's awesome.
What is it called? Their not internship. Oh my God, what is it called? Like they're doing their hours, but they're not getting paid.
It's their
Residency.
residency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, what if it was like someone like that, and like I was like a practice to them.
Oh my God. Yeah, and so like and that was the thing. Like my one and then Fabiola, my best friend, she got it done, and she was like, I can't drink that much water. How do you drink so much water? And I'm like, what if they didn't even cut my stomach out? I'm like, I feel no resistance, no restriction. And I even called them. I was like, hey, like I have no restriction. They're like, some people do, some people don't. And then they did like the liquid test. So it was like I saw it happening, and I was like, what if that was a pre-recorded video?
You're like, how was that me? Like, no, you're lying. No, it's funny because with water, with me, it's so weird. I have a five, like I could do 5 sips. Like I have it like timed out. So if I do the 6th sip, I feel it. So I've thrown up once. No, I've thrown up twice in surgery. Once was in the beginning, about 3 months, and I drank water, too much water. Like I did
Oh.
6 sips, and it just came out. It wasn't like food; it was just the water came back out. And then I just remembered what gave me dumping syndrome. It was Del Taco. I ate a protein bowl from Del
Oh.
Taco. So me thinking, because it's by my work, so me thinking, okay, it's Del Taco. Obviously, it's not the best, but I feel like they have something at every restaurant you go to, right?
Yeah.
So I got a protein bowl, and I took 2 bites. The second bite, I already knew, like, oh my gosh, no.
This
And
is
I
bad.
did throw up. I was at work, and I threw up. But those were the 2 times. But yeah, with water, even now, like if I do the 6th sip, right? Because sometimes you're so thirsty, you're just like sipping. But if I do the 6th one, that's when I feel it like sitting right here. It's
Oh
so weird.
man.
It's so weird.
Like I have a gallon water bottle that I bought on Amazon, and I just carry that everywhere. Everywhere I go, she's with me.
Yeah.
And like I could just like chug water and I still don't feel the only time I feel restriction with liquid is right after I've ate.
Oh
And
yeah.
obviously, you're supposed to wait. But
Yeah.
sometimes I just get so impatient, or sometimes I have something so spicy where I'm like, let me just
Oh
take the
yeah. Like
smallest
if it's something
sip.
spicy, I will. Like I really, really try not to. But like you said, if I'm like, my mouth is burning, I'll take a sip. But I feel it. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah,
No.
and you feel it, and then like I'm done, I feel full. Like things like that, that's when I feel like the restriction. But other than that, if like I wake up and I can chug a glass of water, like nobody's business.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
See,
and
everyone's
then
so
that
different.
it is crazy because like I said, I saw it with like, my best friend, she got it done exactly a month after I did. And it was like there's things that I could do that she couldn't, there's things that she could do that I couldn't, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, what the heck? How could you eat that? And like, I can't eat that.
Yeah.
I think
How much, I mean, I don't know if she's comfortable with you sharing, but how much has she lost?
I think 70.
Okay. How's she feeling? Is it going good for her too? She feeling good?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we
that's so
were
good. You
both.
guys have each other. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome because we both were like, we both had just gained so much weight. She was not as big as I was. I think she was 30 pounds lighter than I was, honestly. But it was like, we would look at pictures and so she got engaged last year and we took pictures and we didn't post any pictures together because we were like, this is not okay. And like, now I look back at pictures and I'm what you call like a quiet VSG,
Yeah, no,
sleeve
yeah, that's
person.
fine. Yeah.
And that's just because there was a point where and I told her, obviously, I talked to her about it. I was like, I feel embarrassed that I was ever that big, and it's something that like I mentally have had to deal with where it's like people ask me like, what are you doing to lose weight? I'm honest. I'm like, oh, I got surgery, but I still, they see that I work out. They see that like when I
You
meal prep,
still
like,
have to do all that. Yeah.
yeah. And so there was one time where I felt like someone was like, oh, I thought that you lost it on your own. And I was like, I
So
did. You know what I mean? I was like, I did. But then I was like, okay, block. Like, I don't need your
but
negativity.
then there's other people too, like you said. I don't remember who you said did it, but then like they were eating hot Cheetos and coffee for breakfast. So
Yeah.
sometimes they see that you're going to lose weight anyways because you're not going to be
Yeah.
able to eat the whole bag, right? Or whatever. But then what? Do your labs and stuff, or how
And
you
that was
feel?
that was another thing that I saw with her is she, obviously we work together, is she was always gone. And when we would be like, oh, where's so and so? They'd be like, oh, she's in the hospital again. And I'm like,
Oh
oh,
wow, yeah.
yeah. So she had a lot of issues after surgery because she didn't follow a diet. She was kind of just eating whatever she
So
wanted,
that's why you
whenever she
become like
wanted.
anemic, or there's so many things that can happen afterwards. If you're not meeting your protein goal, if you're not drinking your water, like I went back to the hospital in the beginning, right? I
Mm-hmm.
literally went back, yeah, because I ate egg when he put me on the period stage. I ate a boiled egg. I don't know why. I mean, I'll eat eggs, but it's not like my favorite meal. And I
Yeah.
ate a boiled egg for some reason. It sounded so good, and I ate it. Completely grossed me out. And I didn't throw up. I was just grossed out to the point where I wouldn't want to drink my water, and then back to the hospital for 5 days, like it's just
Yeah.
things like that. And I have never gone back to the hospital, thank God, because that was like a big enough wake up call, because
Mm-hmm.
I felt horrible. Like my tongue was fully white, like it was
Oh my
white.
gosh.
My eyes were yellow. Like I went straight into the doctor, and literally he's like, stick your tongue out. And I stuck my tongue out, and he's like, you're going back to the hospital. And I was like, no. And I started crying, and he was like, you're full, like you're dehydrated, like we need to get you on right
Yeah.
now. And it was across, like the doctor's office is across, it was at Scripps, in
Oh, okay.
downtown, so like kind of like Hillcrest area. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was right in front, so I just had to walk to the front, and I was there for 5 days, and I was like, oh my God, I hate
Yeah,
it.
and that's one thing that I do appreciate, that you shared your story on the internet. So there was things that like, there was other people that I saw got the surgery, but I was like, I can't really relate, But it was just like, as soon as I started watching your videos, like Fernando would come in the room and I'd just be like folding clothes, like, are you listening? Like, are you listening to what she's saying? Because we both have to be like paying attention. And that was one thing where I was like, okay, hydration, hydration, hydration.
Yeah.
And then finally when it was like protein, I remember you were like, meet your protein goals, and I was like, protein, protein, protein. And that was something that really stuck to me, was like your experience. And I was like, granted, we're all different, but it's a possibility. It's a high possibility. We're such a huge risk that I was like, why take any risk? And my water bottle was like my beautiful like
I always
friend.
have water next to me, like, and I've said it too, like
Hmm.
when I drive a lot, like I said, and I will never get in my car without a water, because then I'm
Yeah.
if I go to work, right, coming home, it takes me like an hour and 15 with traffic. So it's like, if I don't drink water for like a whole hour and 15 minutes, I get headaches. You know what I mean? So it's just, and I'm all about cups and stuff. So I'm like, like cute cups.
Yeah, your
And
little cups creations. I see you. I see you.
Dude, I literally posted it 2 days and I have so many to make already. I'm like,
That's awesome.
I know, but I'm excited about it. But anyways, no, even before that, like, I don't know. It's so funny. Like, I'll buy cute cups and I would tell my husband, like, this is what motivates me to drink water. Okay. So leave me alone.
And
So
they don't get it. They don't get it, but I get it.
Like, I have so many. It's like ridiculous. But anyways, that's what helps me, like, drink water, you know? And in the beginning I had timers and stuff, but now it's so like, I'm like a robot. Like, I just naturally do it. But in the beginning, heck no. I wouldn't drink water. Like, before surgery, I would only drink water, like, if I was like working out or super, super thirsty, like when it's hot or something. But I was Diet Coke was my, oh my God. I would drink Diet Coke, like, I don't even know how many a day. Like, or when I would eat food, I don't know how I don't eat and drink at the same time, because when I would eat food, I would drink like 2 to 3 Diet Cokes, legit, with my meal. Yeah, literally. And I was the type of person that if I didn't have my soda, like, let's say I drank it all and I'm waiting for the server to like refill my drink, I would stop eating, because it was like that's like with
it was a habit.
Pizza Ranch Diet Coke. Oh my God, I was in heaven, you know?
Yeah, you're living your best life.
My dad asked me the other day, he's like, how did you just stop? And I was like, I just knew I had to. Like, it was because I did it. He does it a lot. So I kind of like, he did it, I did it, you know? He's like, how did you just stop? And I was like, I don't know. I just knew that I had to, and that was it. Like, there was nothing else. There was,
it's so crazy because, like, I was the same way, and now I see like Sebastian and Fernanda, and I'm like, you guys should wait, like, after you guys eat to drink water.
like,
and they're like, no. What? They're like, what? Because Sebastian drinks, like, he has a little thermal, like a little one. I think it's like 12 ounces.
Yeah.
But he can eat and drink that whole little thing of water bottle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, like, are you not full? Like, this boy eats, like, now that we sit down and we laugh about it, but it was like, like, you know, when you go out, obviously if everybody's ordering a big meal, then you're like, oh my gosh. But now, like, I kind of order from the kids menu. But Fernando's like, nothing changed from our bill when we go out, because now you order the kids menu and Sebastian orders like a full meal and I order a full meal, and he's like, you guys just switched. And I'm like, that's insane. But like, going out, it was always like, do you want an appetizer? Like, what are we gonna get for dessert? And now I'm like, ooh. And I can say that it's like, it's been hard in a way where sometimes I do like miss, like I said, mentally, it's all in our heads, where it's like, there's times where we are just sitting on the couch and I'm like, man, like, I miss when we would just sit and eat, you know, and things like that, because like you said, everything was surrounded by food. We would be at home and we'd be like, oh, let's go get some cookies. Oh, when I was pregnant and I didn't know I was pregnant, there was like a whole month, I want to say a whole straight month, where I went to McDonald's for their dollar ice cream for like a straight month.
Dude, McDonald's. I still haven't been to McDonald's. Wait, I'm lying. I went to McDonald's the other day, but I didn't get anything. And that was hard. That was, because, I mean, you've watched my video, so like, you probably know, but McDonald's was like my, dude,
your go-to
devil to me. Like, I could eat.
For me, it was Jack in the Box. Like, their jalapeno poppers, their like tacos, their curly fries. Oh, I worked at Jack in the Box for like a week and then I quit.
No, yeah, but fast food, man, I loved it. You know how people are like, it made me feel like complete crap. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was so good to me. Like, it was so good to me. So now, like, my brother wanted ice cream actually from McDonald's, so we just went for him to get ice cream there.
Or like their McFlurries. Oh,
yes, they're so good. They're so good.
And it's funny because like, I wasn't really introduced to fast food up until like I graduated high school, kind of, and kind of started like, no, actually, no, that's a lie. My mom always cooked. You know, my brothers and I thankfully always had like a home cooked meal, whether it was like a salad with like some ribs and rice, like things like that. You know, it was always home cooked meals. Every once in a while, like her favorite place, maybe that's why I like it so much, was Jack in the Box. She'd be like, oh, let's go get a burger here. Let's go get a burger there. And then we had like the coupons, like 2 for 1, like type of stuff.
It's so cheap. Like, it's so cheap. It's ridiculous.
So I didn't start in like getting into fast food up until I got a job, and then I started driving.
Yep.
And my best friend, I think her first job was at What's Those Pretzels. And
Oh
so
my
that she
gosh,
would be like,
so good.
I would pick her up from the mall because I lived down the street from Parkway Plaza Mall, like
Okay.
2 minutes away. So I would pick her up, and she'd like come with like a bag of like pretzels and be like, oh, they just gave me these from work, because they would just throw them away. So she's like, oh, I just got these. And that's when like I kind
They're
of started
so
introducing
good,
myself to like
pretzels.
the fast food industry, and I was like, there's so many things I could eat whenever I want,
But
and
like
that's
you
where I
said,
was just like,
it starts when you like start making your own money and driving. Like I worked at I worked in food places when I was a kid. I started working at like 15. So I worked at like a
yeah.
burger place, and then I worked at a taco shop. So, and I would get free
Ooh.
food at the taco shop. So on my lunch, I would like basically make whatever I wanted, right? Or I would make
Yeah.
the guys make me whatever. And it was bad. Like I ate roll tacos, carne asada fries, burritos, like every single day. And
Yeah.
and then when you start driving, like you said, and then I met my husband when I was 17. So okay, oh my gosh, my dogs. I met my husband when I was 17. So then like obviously all we would do is eat out. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? What?
Yeah.
So nice.
Us too. Like, I'm never gonna forget this one night. He was like, I want pizza. And I wanted like, it's when the buffalo fries had just come out. Like they were becoming pretty famous, where
My
it was like the
gosh.
French fries, and then
Where
they
did
would
you
put
get
the
that?
buffalo. I think now it's called, what is it called now?
Epic wings?
I think so. Yes.
It was
Yes. Yes.
wings
Yes.
and things, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh. And
that's what,
their breadsticks.
and I'm never gonna forget this one time. We got a Costco pizza just for me and him. Okay, we got a Costco pizza just for me and him, but we also got buffalo fries.
Oh my gosh.
And
I did those things all the time. So it's not even like, oh my God, because I did that.
like, I'm just like, oh my God. And that's where it just like it started, because like I would look at pictures and I was like, what happened? And then last year around like November, I was still like in the 240s. I was still in the 240s. And then we had one of my coworkers, something happened, and that's when I really like I feel like we all hit depression, like like some of my girlfriends at work and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when we had a taco shop right by our work, and it was called Tapatíos, and it was like on our lunch break we would all hang out, and we'd be like, let's go get a burrito, let's go get some fries, let's go get this, let's go down the street to Fred's,
Yeah.
because we were eating our emotions. Like it was insane. And I feel like we had a burrito on lunch break. Mind you, we only had 30 minutes of lunch break, so it was like, how quick could I eat this whole burrito? And every single time I ate it, I felt horrible, because I'd go back into work and I just want to sit, and anybody that bothered me, I was annoyed, I was irritable,
Yeah,
I was lethargic.
it's like your lunchtime is supposed to be giving you food to give you energy to complete the day, right? And it was doing the opposite. And I can totally
Yeah.
do that now, because now when I eat lunch, right, I'll most of the time I go to Starbucks and I just have my little coffee. But
Yeah.
a lot of the times I'll have like salad, or it's something that's giving me energy to end the day, instead of like, let me go take a nap. I'm done.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And that was like, I was, after my lunch break, I was like done. I was like, I need to go home. I want to take a nap. Like, why are you talking to me? Like, you're irritating me,
Like, leave me alone.
like things like that. And it was like, and then after that, I shot up like the 20 pounds, and I was like, whoa. And then the day before surgery, I was like, I can't believe I'm 263 pounds. And now I look back at pictures, like I have a picture of, and now this is opening me up to like sharing my story on like Instagram. It was just like I said, I was just mentally preparing myself. Like my best friend, she posted hers the day she was getting her surgery, she let everybody know. And I was like, I'm just still so embarrassed, like there was times where I would see people that I knew.
Everyone shares it differently. There's some people that will lie and say they didn't get it, and it's just
And I'm like, no, I'm not lying. Like, I'm not lying. It's just like, I was just so embarrassed. Like, there's people that I would see that I went to high school with, and I would be like, oh my God, I hope they don't see me. It was embarrassing for me. A lot of people are like, good for you. You did something for you. Like, good for you.
Have you gotten like, because sometimes even with me, like when I went back to work, right? I work at a school, so it's like a lot of people, right? And even the kids, like in my program before COVID, I had 100 kids in my program, 120 kids. Now it's like, so it's like not even, dude, it's crazy. It's like 1/4 of it. So I go to work and I feel like I'm not doing anything because I was so used to managing 120 kids. But when I had 120 kids, so I left 304 pounds, right? When I came back, I already lost. I was off. Dude, I didn't come back for 3 months. So I was
I
already
remember you
down
saying that.
like, I don't know, at least 50 to 60 pounds. So that's already a big difference, you know? So I
Mm-hmm.
came back and it was like, oh my God. And then like the parents, I'm really close to all my parents and everything, you know? So it was like a lot. And then it was dealing with all the compliments and not knowing how to deal with them. It was kind of like, oh, like you become shy, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. And like, you know, when I first started posting, like, I never actually said, like, I got surgery. You know, it was kind of like people were noticing the weight loss.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of people actually be like, that's amazing, you know, good for you. But in my head, I was like, I wish I would have done it sooner. And that's why I remember when you did that podcast with that girl that says, like, imagine your life after it. Like, I wish I would have done this sooner. It's never too late, you know, and it's still never too late for anybody that wants to get it done, ever. But I'm like, I had that fear of like losing food, you know, losing food and not being able to enjoy food that like held me back. And I'm like, I wish I would have done it sooner, but there is, you know, no sooner than the perfect time. There's a reason why it happened when it happened.
Literally, it revolves around everything. Oh my God, I love your little paw tattoo on your finger.
Huh?
Your little dog paw tattoo on your finger. I'm like, wait, that's so cute.
Yeah.
My husband wants to get our dogs tattooed on his leg, and I was like, you're wild.
My brother, he has 3 Jack Russells, and he's getting like one of their faces on his leg. He's crazy.
I've seen some really good tattoos, like super detailed, you know. But anyways, dude, what time is it? Oh my God, I don't even know how long it is because I didn't put the little timer. But let's just wrap up with, I mean, how I've been wrapping up is like, what advice would you give to someone that's like the night before their surgery? Like, what would you tell them?
Don't focus on the surgery. It was quick. My surgery was 30 minutes, I want to say. Fernando was like, they took you. I went to the bathroom, came back, and like, they were like, okay, she's out. She's in the recovery. We'll send her back in like 2 hours. And my biggest advice is just do it. Worry about what's to come. Focus on the moment. Do not worry about, I want to be this far out. I want to be this far out. Focus on the moment. Take everything in as much as you can. And my biggest thing is push yourself. Push yourself as far as you can. Do not give up. It's going to be hard. It's going to be rough. The first couple of weeks, I'm not going to sit here and be like, it's, you know, the weight comes off and it's butterflies and rainbows and you're not going to want to eat anything. Everybody around you is going to continue to eat.
Yep.
But just remember, you're stronger and you can do it. And the reason that you're doing this is to become a better version of yourself. And, you know, cheers to a new beginning.
Dude, and it's so crazy because I literally remember me talking to you back before you got your surgery. Like, it just happened so fast. Like, time goes by so fast. And I remember how scared you were and how, like, you were messaging me. And now, like, look, like, it just goes by so fast.
It does. And it, you know, and that's another advice. It's like, it goes by so fast that just take it all in and enjoy every, you know, milestone, every accomplishment. Enjoy it. There's things that I'm like, you know, I just went on vacation. I wore a 2-piece bathing suit.
See,
I've never worn a 2-piece. Even when I was like on my smaller side, I still never wore a 2-piece bathing suit. You know, I was always in shorts and a t-shirt getting into the pool, and I wore a 2-piece bathing suit, and I felt amazing. I felt phenomenal. I felt like nobody could take me down off of like my pedestal. Like, leave me alone. Let me live.
Like, let me live my best life, okay? COVID's not stopping me.
Exactly. Like,
know?
So what? You can see my scars. Leave me alone.
Dude, no, who cares? I know. It's like such a freeing moment, huh? Like, you just
and it was like, I feel so good. We also had a wedding, like my cousin's wedding, and I wore a long dress, and I was like, everybody get out my way. Here I come.
Just like, instead of like earlier, like in this conversation, you were telling me how your husband would want to go out, and you were like, no, I don't want to go. Like, you know?
No, I'd be like, absolutely not. Like, or like if we would go out, I'd be like, okay, there was one thing that I used to do, and it's only because I was a size 16 in jeans. Right now I'm a 10, and I'm slowly starting to, like, you know, the 10s I need a belt now. Yeah. And like, I would be like, why? He would put on jeans and I'd be like, put on sweats, you know? And it was like, it was so
oh my God.
sad because it was like, I was only wearing leggings and I was like, why are you going to wear that? Like, why do you look all dressed up? I'm wearing leggings and a t-shirt, like put on some sweats. And there's a picture that I have from last year that we went to Hawaii and I was like in a one-piece bathing suit and I compared it to the pictures that I went, you know, this year. And I was like, even he, like, I unfortunately was a toxic person to him in a way of like, of like just telling him, you know, the simple fact of like, wear sweats, like I'm gonna wear leggings and my boots, like wear sweats. And he'd be, and because sweats are always gonna fit you, you know. So it was like, and that's a habit I'm still trying to break, where it's like I still want to wear leggings all the time, you know.
Leggings. I lived in them. I live in them now, but it's crazy because now you don't have to. Like you can put jeans on, you can put, you know what I mean,
and feel comfortable. Like I would see people stay on their couch in jeans and I'd be like,
ew,
you're breaking the law right now and you have no idea.
That was me. I was such a hater. Like I wouldn't wear jeans at all. And I was like, why are you wearing jeans? Like we're chilling. And they're like, I am chilling. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah. And then I'd be like, oh, she's wearing jeans. I wish I was skinny so I could just wear jeans, you know, to sit on my couch.
Like a cute t-shirt, huh? That was
and so simple.
The t-shirt.
And I just placed an order on Shein. You know, I got me some stuff and just things like that, where it's like I always wore the same thing. I had a closet full of clothes. Like our closet was like three-story closet type of thing. And I always wore leggings, sweats. The Costco would always get me with like their sweatsuits. And that's what I lived in. And it's because it always fit me the same, you know? And now I'm like, I need to wear jeans. I need to wear jeans. I do wear jeans, but when I'm at home, I'm like, I'm at home. Yeah, but I wear jeans a lot more. I make an effort a lot more. And, you know, I'm not telling Fernanda to put on sweats all the time.
No, but it's so crazy because I can definitely relate to that. And I think you're the first person to bring that up, actually, in my podcast, because I feel like that's what I used to do. I used to be like, well, you're doing the most, change, you know, like, look how I'm dressed. And he was like, all right. And he'd go and
like he never said anything, but now I look back and I'm like,
he probably didn't think that deep into it. I know my husband didn't. I know he
no, absolutely not.
I know he wasn't like, oh, she's making me dress down because she's dressed down. Like, I know he never thought that, but that's what we were doing. You know what I mean? That's
it's just it's crazy. And now, like, you know, I'm just so happy. I'm at a place where it's like I'm not at my goal, but I'm okay with that. You know, I've learned to accept that. I've learned to just go with the flow at this point. And I compared myself to a lot of people. I'm like, these people are like a year out and they're still losing weight. Why am I still not losing weight? Like, why did my weight loss already stop?
But you need to remember
that, I'm like,
you were smaller than a lot. Like you were like me. You're as tall as me, right? So when I've lost 140 pounds, I was almost 50 pounds heavier than you when you think about it. You know what I mean? So that's also something you have to keep in mind.
Yeah, and that was another thing where it's like, okay, and that's, you know, I feel like a lot of people don't understand, like, you have to take a lot of time for yourself and just actually focus on, like, it's okay. You're not losing 4 or 5 pounds every week. It's fine. You're losing 1 pound every 2 weeks. That's okay.
It's okay.
You know? And like, if my best friend was here, she could answer. I would be like, I'm going to do a pouch reset. I'm not losing any more weight. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to stop eating. And she'd be like, why? Like, stop. Everything that you're doing, just stop. She's like, you look so good. You need to live in the moment.
No, for sure. When I posted my pouch reset, I honestly, like, when I did it, I was happy that I did it. I was 170, I think it was 174, 172, and it got me to the 160s. That was like my last jump, right, when I got to 160. So I don't regret it, but I get a lot of messages now, and I'm not going to delete the video, but I get a lot of messages now, but I'm always like, be careful. Ask your doctor. If you feel like you're going to faint, stop, you know? And like I say in all my videos, I'm not a doctor because I don't want people coming back at me and being like, oh my gosh, I fainted and I followed your video. And it's not even that, you know? But seriously, people are like that. Like, I'm not dealing with any of that.
No. When you sent me the pouch reset, and I kind of like mentally put myself in a state where it's like, okay, you're going to go to Mexico. Like, do it when you get back. Yeah. So then I came back, and honestly, like, all those cravings that I had when I was over there, I enjoyed everything that I wanted. I'm not even gonna lie. The first thing I did when I got home that night was I weighed myself. I didn't gain anything, which was like, okay, awesome. Brenda, like,
Awesome.
Like, it's okay, you know, relax. Like, you're fine. You're at the same weight. You're at 178. Like, there's, you know, and I was like, wow, I was like so stressed out, overwhelmed. But now I came home and I was like, okay, instead of lunch, I'm just gonna have another proffie.
Yeah.
And, you know, instead of having like a lunch, it's like I would have two proffies, a snack, and it was like just cutting out one meal. You know, we're just gonna cut out one meal. We're not gonna go crazy. I feel like once I get to a point where it's like, okay, I just need to reset like completely because I'm eating unhealthy, everything's just not going the way I wanted to, then I could like look into that. But then I had to like mentally be like, okay, you're not at that point yet. Like,
Yeah,
relax,
because
breathe.
when I did it, it was when COVID started and I didn't work. Like I wasn't working during that
Yeah.
time because we were like shut down. So I did it when I was at home. I didn't work out at all. And I was at home where like I was chilling. Like I was able to sit down. I wasn't like on the go everywhere. Because
Yeah.
to be honest with you, if I would have been working and stuff like right now, I would not be able to do that with driving to work, being at work, coming home, you know, just the life that I'm living right now. I would be in a really bad mood and I would feel really, really bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hands
So
down, because
that's
you're more
also,
active.
yeah, that's also what I tell people. And 10 days is a long time. 10 days,
Yeah.
10 days, you know?
And
Other
that's
people
another
have cut it
thing.
down. They've done like 5 days or 3
Yeah.
days.
And I feel like if obviously the circumstances were different, if I had gotten surgery maybe last year and quarantine would have hit, obvious like that's different, you know. But since I was still so early on during quarantine, I was like, there's really not much I'm gonna gain. But
Yeah.
like now, you know, as like I move further on and I am able to eat a little bit more, I do set myself back in a way of like, okay, you know, let's just slowly like start going backwards. And now I feel like I just this whole week that passed, for this whole week I had 2 protein shakes a day and then just like my dinner that I was gonna eat at night, you know, and like a snack. And I feel like with that I was able to bring myself back without having to put my body through like a whole bunch of stress that, okay, you have to do this. Why are you eating this? And why are you doing that? And I still, you know, haven't gained anything. And I'm like, okay, we're good. And it's just all mentally. That's all I could tell people. It's
like
mentally.
the baby steps, you know? You don't have to go like with the Patricia, it's very serious. Like it's like cold turkey, like, okay, go.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's doing it like that too. And then if you feel like you have to do it later or whatever, it's your decision, you know? No one can tell you no.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, do you
110%.
recommend it? And I'm like, I thought it was good for me at the time. And that girl that I followed, Tiffany, I know her name's Tiffany, but I don't remember her Instagram name. That's who I got it from. And she did it also. But yeah, I mean, me and my sister
Yeah.
did it and she didn't get surgery. But
there's some people that just like take it too personal. Like, you know, I asked you because I trust you and I've always reached out to you, but it wasn't like, I'm going to do it because she sent it to me and I have to do it and I have to follow it. It was like, hey, I know you did it, you know, what do you recommend? Blah, 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 blah. But it's not that serious. It's just listening to your body, listen to your body. And when your body tells you to stop, do it and listen.
For sure. But, okay, well, we're going to be talking forever. I don't want to cut you off because, you know, I don't want to. But we need to get together soon for sure. Like I said, I'm always in San Diego all the time. So we can, like, go get coffee or something. I'm so down.
Yes. I'm off weekends. Let me know when you're here.
Every Saturday and Sunday you're off? I am off the weekends too. So we'll plan something soon for sure.
Yes.
Okay. So this one, I know, for real. This one's going to be posted next Wednesday. I post them on Wednesday.
Okay.
God, I'm like all over the place. Next Wednesday, so I'll tag you and everything. But thank you for being on. I was so excited to have you on.
Thank you so much for your guidance and for helping me through all of this. And, you know, just continue to inspire people. You're a huge inspiration to many of us. I know for me and I know for so many other people. So just, you know, keep pushing and don't focus on, you know, and one thing that you said that stuck to me forever and will forever stick to me was when you posted that picture of yourself and you said, healthy, yes, perfect, no. And I always tell myself that it's okay because I'm healthy. I may have loose skin, I may have flabby arms, but that's okay, you know?
You're cute. You're going to make me emotional. Stop. But no, yeah, we'll keep talking, you know, message me whenever. And
Perfect.
then we definitely have to get together soon. Thank you for being on. Have a good weekend with your family.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys. This one was a long one, so I appreciate your guys' love every single week. Brenda, thank you so much for being on my podcast. Like I've mentioned in the intro, I feel like we've really connected, just talking on a daily basis, sharing our experiences, working together, right? We're not alone. I never feel alone this journey because of people like you. So thank you for being someone I can reach out to too. And just watching you grow and blossom is a super beautiful thing, and I'm so excited. You're 7 months post-op. You still are early in your journey, and I can't wait to see everything that is to come. And we need to meet up for our Profi date down in San Diego. But again, thank you so much for being on, love. And then everyone else that is watching, thank you guys for watching every single week. I get such positive energy, comments about why you guys love it, and you guys listen every single week, even though it's an hour long, an hour and a half long. So that's why I continue to keep doing it. If you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below, and like always, you guys have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you guys on my video on Sunday. Bye.